Mirror's Edge has been my favourite game since July 2018. I love it for its smooth movement, beautiful colours, and engaging gameplay. In this video, I'll be discussing how likely Mirror's Edge 3 is. Before we get to that, we need to understand why DICE decided to make Mirror's Edge and why it is considered a unique and different experience. The art of freerunning was created in the 1980s by David Bell. Freerunning or parkour is the activity or sport of moving rapidly through an area, typically in an urban environment, negotiating obstacles by running, jumping and climbing. He owned a group of 9 called the Yamakasi. Even though it was founded in the 1980s, its popularity only began in the 1990s to the 2000s. In 2003, a documentary came out in the UK known as Jump London. They showed David Bell and his team freerunning on popular buildings in London. This documentary inspired many, such as the well-known parkour group Star. Before this documentary, many had never even heard of parkour. Many teenagers and young adults went out and filmed their parkour videos to upload to YouTube. Mirror's Edge was developed by the Swedish company DICE as a part of an effort to create something fresh and interesting, anticipating a need to diversify away from the successful Battlefield franchise that the studio was known for. DICE was looking for something new, but also something that they could sell. They saw the rising popularity of parkour and ran with it. This is how Mirror's Edge was made. Mirror's Edge released in 2008. DICE marketing director Martin Frein initially projected a total of 3 million copies of Mirror's Edge to be sold across all platforms. They only reached their sales expectations in 2013. Mirror's Edge had little sales at release. This was because it came out during a period where the most popular games were first-person shooters. Games that came out at the time were Call of Duty World at War, Gears of War 2, and Left 4 Dead. The game ended up selling 2.5 million copies worldwide. Although the game had sold poor, the game had been getting good reviews. The game started to build a fanbase who wanted to see a sequel. Mirror's Edge was different. There had been games based on freerunning before, but they were in third person and felt disconnected from the world and the protagonist. In the first person view of Mirror's Edge, you are looking through the eyes of Faith, the protagonist. You can feel the speed of Faith running on the rooftops, and you can feel her rolling on the concrete. The game feels alive. By the way, the soundtrack is amazing, shout out to you Solar Fields. The game started to build a fanbase who want to see a sequel. Mirror's Edge Catalyst was officially announced at E3 2015. Fans were excited to see what an open world Mirror's Edge game would be like. When many fans of the original were expecting a sequel, Mirror's Edge Catalyst turned out to be a reboot. Many believed that the original didn't need a reboot. The story was interesting enough to expand on, the gameplay was really good but could have more features, and the combat was okay. Many fans thought that the combat in Mirror's Edge was good, but could be improved upon. When making Catalyst, DICE took this information as that we didn't like the combat. DICE reworked the combat system and removed guns. I can understand why they did this, it's the runner's fantasy. It wasn't a bad idea, but they only made the combat worse. They also changed the story quite a bit, but nobody had a problem with the original story in the first place. I can respect the lore of the city and the hidden related element stuff. Christopher Emgard did a good job on that. Catalyst also had a variety of bugs and gameplay features that could break the game. Now you must question, did Mirror's Edge need a reboot? No, it certainly did not. Was Mirror's Edge Catalyst a bad game? Surprisingly, not at all. Catalyst's movement was overall improved, and it was faster and smoother. The game looks better graphically and has stunning sights to see too. The game's movement system feels smooth. Mirror's Edge Catalyst looks and feels good to play. The Mirror's Edge series is in no way perfect, but it has done a lot for the industry to see what you can get with something different and new. If you want to learn more about what makes Mirror's Edge Catalyst so great, Whitelight's video shares a lot of details. Now that you guys understand the basic history of Mirror's Edge, we can talk about why you clicked on this video. Will there be a Mirror's Edge 3? Fans have wanted to see a new installment ever since Catalyst. Freerunning is definitely less popular now than it used to be, so there's less of a market for a new Mirror's Edge title. In April 2021, EA France tweeted, "Does anyone recognize this game?" Many thought that they were teasing a new Mirror's Edge game. But then as the hype rose, they tweeted something again, stating, "So, it's not a teaser, it's just a game. If we tease something one day, you'll understand it right away. Don't worry." Then, in September 2021, NVIDIA GeForce Now was data mined by a developer known as Igor July. The data mine revealed a number of text strings in the back end of the platform that related to unannounced games. Many of them have become real. Some of the leaks there you would have expected, although what I don't think many expected to see was Mirror's Edge or DX Remaster. As much as this is exciting, it has been heard that companies listed future titles as joke titles, fake names, or code names for future games. On June 21st, 2022, an article was made to Games Radar. Christopher Dring had asked DICE's general manager Rebecca Kutes if there's projects like Mirror's Edge on the back burner. She responded with, "We are only focusing on Battlefield 2042. There's no time for anything else and this is what we want to do. In 3 years, we want to be the first-person shooter powerhouse that DICE deserves to be, and that is what we are going for." DICE has always kind of been known as the Battlefield studio. I mean, it's the most popular franchise. I myself am a Battlefield fan, and I played the open beta. I thought that Battlefield 2042 had good gunplay and movement mechanics and engaging weather system. Everyone expected Battlefield 2042 to be a hit. It took them 18 months to make, and the game was primarily focused on multiplayer, which was the main reason why people played Battlefield, so it made sense. On November 12, 2021, Battlefield 2042 launched. It failed to meet expectations, with recent weeks seeing the scaling down of lobby sizes and removal of certain modes entirely because the audience just isn't big enough to sustain them. The game also had a huge amount of bugs. EA puts the blame on Halo Infinite, as it launched at a similar time, and COVID-19. Battlefield should have been the best Battlefield experience we had yet. With the information that we know that when Mirror's Edge is close we will know something about it, it may be a good time for DICE to start opening up their options now that Battlefield 2042 hasn't reached expectations. Although, as much as Mirror's Edge is iconic, there isn't a demand for a sequel. The only people that are requesting one is the fans. Even though Battlefield 2042 failed, DICE would still pull in more players from something multiplayer and popular like Battlefield, Need for Speed, or Battlefront. To be honest, at this current time, Mirror's Edge doesn't need a sequel. The game is still exceptional in terms of mechanics and graphics. DICE knows that Mirror's Edge is important. It is a game that can make fans and critics very happy, and it can repair their reputation. So, to recap. Mirror's Edge both times didn't meet sales expectations in the beginning but grew over time. Free running used to be more popular than it is now. DICE will let us know when another Mirror's Edge game is coming. DICE wants to focus on Battlefield. There isn't a great demand for Mirror's Edge. And Mirror's Edge is something that DICE would make to please all audiences if other projects didn't work out for them. Now most of those don't sound great, but I conclude that me and many others believe that Mirror's Edge will come out in around 10 years. Yes, that is a long time. We need to give DICE time. In a few years' time, hardware will be improved. When DICE is looking for something fresh, they will find it in Mirror's Edge. I'm confident that Mirror's Edge 3 will come out. I just think it will take a long time. All the sources used in this video are in the description. If you have any questions, please DM me on Twitter. If you think I've missed anything on Mirror's Edge 3 news, you can let me know on the Discord server. I'm shouting out everyone on the Discord server, and I will continue to do so every video. I sometimes stream on Twitch too. The link to both of these are down in the description below. I want to say thank you all for the recent support on my videos. It means the world to me. If you want to support me, the best way you can do it is to subscribe and share this video around. Thanks for watching. Bye.